night, ladies and gentlemen. Buenas noches, todos. Once again, we got you back. It's back with us. And the Citizens Advisory Committee is pleased to present tonight's show. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, will be a continuation of what we did last month, May. On the 16th of May, we had traffic officers here from municipal, from the police. And today we have the same, only the police come stronger this time, 2-1. All right? We need to know more about the traffic. All right, so and these officers will be explaining to us some of the most important safety tips as drivers and as pedestrians. But to begin with, para comenzar, I will ask the officers to please present themselves, and I will begin with Mr. Edwin. Mr. Edwin Hill, please.
Yes, good night, everyone. Good night, your listeners, Mr. Mande, along with Mr. Marin from the police department. Well, as everyone knows, I've been here a couple of times already. My name is Mr. Edwin Hill, Jr. Been serving the department for a little bit over 10 years now. I have gained experience as I went along with my years.
Capral.
Good night, everyone, television viewers. My name is Adrian Marini, Corporal of Police, presently posted as in charge of the traffic unit at the Orange Jack Police Station for the past year. That's basically where I work right now.
Okay. Officer Arsenio.
Good night to our viewers. My name is Arsenio Ya. I have been posted at the traffic branch in Orange Rock since January of this year.
Okay, so you are new to Orange Rock. Yes. Okay, I hope you find it, as you can work well with the officers, with all the police department information here, and the community itself, right? And of course with the Citizens Advisory Committee, right? Okay. Señoras y señores, queremos que ustedes escuchen estos mensajes de esos oficiales porque el tráfico significa bastante. Casi cada semana oímos accidentes de tránsito, vehículos, motocicletas, bicicletas, camiones y cosas así. A veces no conocemos todas las leyes de ello, pero como choferes debemos de aprender y respetar las leyes de tránsito. Si no, nos vamos a meter en problemas. So I want to ask you that please listen, and then you can ask questions during the show. Anytime during the show, I will give you the number that you can call. Anytime, feel free to ask any question to any of the officers or to me. And that number is 666-666-3468, 3468, 666-3468. Feel free to call, llámenos, para que podamos aclarar muchas cosas. Porque hay que entender que obedecer las leyes es obligación de todos nosotros, todos, para poder vivir mejor, para poder estar con mucha seguridad, porque todo lo que hacemos es para nuestra seguridad aquí como ciudadanos en Orange Walk y en todo Belice también. ¿Okay? Quiero dar las gracias a esos oficiales que están aquí con nosotros esta noche y van a conversar y nos van a informar sobre más de lo que empezamos el mes pasado, en mayo, sobre leyes de tránsito. Okay? So we will continue this follow-up talk show on traffic rules and regulations in Orange Walk, and we have the right people to tell us what to do and what not to do. And some of the penalties, some of the fines that we have to pay when we get into trouble, because we know or we don't know. And ignorance of the law is no excuse. The law will not forgive us for that. Okay? So let me ask one question. What are some of the most common traffic offenses in Orange Walk Town? And I want to begin here in Orange Walk Town with the officer from the Town Council Municipal Traffic section. Mr. Hill, which one do you find the most common one that it happens almost every day and the people don't understand. I would understand, I would think, esta gente no entiende, they don't can't, so what are they going to learn? What are some of these things and what are the consequences or the fines? Because there's a list of fines. If you do this, you pay this. If you do this, you pay this. And things are changing. They're getting more expensive now.
Yes, yes. Yes, Mr. Mande. Well, one of the most common offenses that takes place every day from wake up in the morning and sometimes even when you go to sleep, we hear this common problem is it's nothing strange to everyone in the community, also to the police department, which is the motorcycles, right?
Oh.
I would say, on our day-to-day enforcing out there, we would encounter, I would say, from a ratio of 1 to 10, 8 would be motorcycles. Offenses vary on motorcycles. For example, we try and find key locations whereby we can set up VCPs, checkpoints whereby we can cramp down on these cycles. For example, excessive noise, illegal headlamps that are attached to these cycles. Many of times we may be on the road and we see this object coming in the front with huge lights. They are attaching these lights to the cycle and they do not have no control over it when it comes to high beam, low beam. It's one bright light. Excessive noise, again, these guys attach, they put different attachments to their mufflers in order to make excessive noise. We have the excessive passenger. And I always say this, this is something, for example, excessive passengers. We have many people that come with different excuses. I will share some of the excuses people may say. For example, when enforcing motorcycles, excessive passengers, we may say, you know what, it's a child. I have nowhere to leave my child. What must I do? I need to take this child with me. But I already have someone with me. Then again, is that the right thing to do? We try and educate them and telling them, well, you know what, if you catch in a traffic accident, your child will be flung out like a missile. If you are traveling, for example, if you would be traveling on a vehicle without a seatbelt and you come to a collision, if you crash with any incoming vehicle and you're traveling at a speed of 55 miles per hour and you do not have your seatbelt, your body becomes an immediate missile that will be flung out through that windshield at that same speed you are traveling on, 55 miles per hour. That's on a vehicle. Now, can we imagine the same damage be done on a motorcycle that is carrying a mom, a dad, a daughter, a toddler, and probably someone else? We have seen it. We have, we have seen it. We have been issuing tickets from it. But the questions I ask myself, and I sometimes would like to ask these guys, like, how much do you love your child? How much do you love your family? For you to put them at risk, Teacher Mande. Is it worth it? Is my question to them. Is it worth it? It's already cheap to move around in a motorcycle with fuel. Is it worth it to save the extra $3 or $4 of fuel? For you to make 2 trips, you can take someone first to school, you go back, you take the little brother or little sister. It can be done if we make time for our destination. It can definitely be done.
Can you suggest those ideas to them when you encounter them? Or
Every
they
time we
don't
encounter them,
understand?
that would be my counter to them. Why don't you make 2 trips?
Right, yes, yes.
No, but it's easier for me to do it this way so I don't have to go back. But then again, is it worth it? If you put on a ratio of gas, let's say a $20 gas on your motorcycle, you can move around in that motorcycle. Roughly, that can give you from Monday to Friday enough gas for you to move around. But for us to try to be more, I would say, to be more fuel, to economize more in fuel, we would like to take and, we make 1 trip with 2 or 3 persons. But then, like how I say, my question is it worth it to take that risk to save how much? $15, $5? And when we tell them these things, they're like, you know what, I era poor man, I hustle, I work, yo estoy pobre, apenas estoy haciendo las cosas están duro. And I ask them the same thing, pero si las cosas están duro, ¿por qué quebrar la ley? ¿Entiendes? Las cosas estén duro o no estén duro, eso no nos da razón para quebrar la ley. And by breaking the law, it makes it even harder for us, Teacher Mande, because we go and we get a $50 ticket. Why? Because we didn't want to buy a helmet. You understand? So by breaking the law doesn't make anything better for us. If things are already hard, right? Why even make it hard on ourselves? We go there, we're driving reckless. We make decisions, so probably we just come out without a helmet, or maybe you're in a hurry, you see the light, you're already taking the risk with 2 or 3 passengers on your motorcycle, and you're still going to take another risk and try to make it in time and try to run that red light, or maybe speed on the amber light. So I would say on a general overview of everything, motorcycles is one of the most ticketable offenses right now in town, in our town. When it comes to different offenses, excessive passengers will be the most ticketable one, along with helmets. We have been cramping down on helmets a lot, but still we have that excessive passengers. For the same reason, people are saying that they do not have anywhere to leave their child.
So the situation is not improving much.
It is improving in a sense of safety. All right, now you can see 3 persons on a motorcycle, but now the child has a helmet. But it's still not right, Teacher Mande. For example, you have a child behind you. This child, a toddler of 5, 6 years, a toddler's hand is about how much? About 2 inches, right?
Yeah.
A child cannot grip you at the back. A child cannot hold on to you as a normal person or adult would. So if you were to have a sudden reaction, maybe someone ran in front of you, and you as a motorcyclist had to do some kind of maneuver for you to get off that, right? Would that child, you can ask yourself this question, would that child behind you, will his or her little hands have enough strength to hold on to you at the back? No, he or she won't, right? So it's very important for us to prioritize what is it that we want. Do we want to mourn the death of one of our children, or one of our nieces, cousins, nephews? Is that what we want? Because the way I see it, Teacher Man, an accident is just waiting to happen. And we as a department in the town council try and, identify these problems and try and be more proactive instead of reactive to something, waiting on something to happen. This is why right now we have been issuing many violations tickets when it comes to excessive passengers, and the general public knows it. They have been to the office either trying to debate their tickets, trying to explain their situation. They have been there to explain it, maybe to the manager or to myself. Why is it that they broke the law in such a way? And I would also tell them, you know what, some of them didn't know, and like how you mentioned rightfully earlier, ignorance of the law is no excuse, right? They go and they pay their tickets. Some of them learn from it. Some of them pay their tickets and then go and do it all over again. So this is something that is waiting to happen, and unless we do something about it now, something will eventually, be disastrous. Not that I am wishing for it to happen, but things that I see every day. Sometimes I come out of work, I see these things when I'm on work. Sometimes you don't see them when you're on your shirt, on your uniform.
Yes.
But when I'm not working, you see them doing all kind of stuff.
Yes.
So that would be on our end, that motorcycles would be one of the major ticketed offenses right now at this point in our town.
Okay. Corporal Marine,
Yes, sir.
do you find that also as a police traffic officer that motorcyclists giving problems like that? Do you find that?
Yes, in addition to what Mr. Hill said earlier, I would reiterate to the drivers for motorcycles, the speeding especially. Sometimes you see them in a hurry,
Yeah.
and the traffic is busy, and usually they're supposed to wait for them on the line up.
Mike. Say that to Mike.
So,
To Mike, say that.
yeah, like I said, speeding on the motorcycles is
Is a common one? It's a common offense?
Yes, and due to the speeding, sometimes we get a lot of accidents.
Accidents, no?
Yes, and
How do motorcyclists react when you stop them and tell them some of these things that they have done wrong? Are they prepared to accept what they did wrong, or they want to excuse themselves and get away?
some of them do understand and accept their fault, but some of them are ignorant at the same time. So we have to educate them as to that. No? And I would reiterate to all drivers who are on motorcycle to be more careful when driving on the streets, especially here in Orangewood. On time, the traffic is busy, and sometimes they overtake on the wrong side too. all of those types of offenses, there is a penalty for that. And the other offenses that we meet here in our town, the illegal parking of motor vehicles on both sides of the street. That is another concern for us, and usually that causes accident too.
Corporal, if you notice, around town, there are some signs that says you can park within this time during the month. And the other side says you cannot park during these days. Right? The alternative. Do you find people breaking those?
Yes, we do find people breaking laws.
Parking when they're supposed to park there.
Yes,
And the
sir.
sign is up there.
Yes, sir. So I would reiterate again to the drivers to be more careful when parking, especially close to the corners of the streets and when traffic is busy.
That corner, Corporal, has a distance where you can park and where you shouldn't park. How many feet is it from the corner to where you could park? Over here, no?
That they should supposed to park not less than 30 feet
30 feet.
from any corner of any
Or
street.
from any car.
From any corner of any street. That's the law. And there is a ticketable
Is
offense.
there penalty for that? You have to
Penalty
pay a
for
fine.
that. Yes.
Like how the corporal mentioned and Mr. Hill mentioned,
Yes, yes.
and we have been having this offenses not far by Wepadencel, the meat pie by Ocho Benque and the tortilla factory. We have been having a lot of small traffic accident there. Even though we have gone and talked to the owner, make them find one parking area so that we could avoid or they could avoid these accidents. Right? But sometimes people just react. Some of them understand. They say, sir, it will not happen again. So we have been there frequently, and we have been that they are being slowing down from that parking at that area.
Yeah, because you find some of especially the
And
where
that
they
is
sell
a
tortillas,
curve.
right? And they are at that corner sometimes. like-
Sometimes you see by 8 o'clock, sir, 8 o'clock during the time, most of them vehicles they come north, going so. We sometimes we have as traffic have come down, walk and try to avoid any kind of accident. We have explained to them. Some of them, like I mentioned earlier,
They understand.
they understand. Some of them just
Some don't want. What if you become strict with the rules? Do you think they would? They
we
would.
have issuing ticket. Hence the reason that has been.
Because officers, the concerns of viewers, they sometimes they say, why do our drivers behave this way in our town, in our country? But when they go to Chetumal, for example, they behave like good drivers.
Differently.
And they say, why, if they can do it here, why do not do it here? Right? And if they don't do it here, then they're liable to pay fines. All right? Because all this is very strict. Here, we're not strict. Should we get strict? Over there, they have constant 24-hour traffic people. Over here, maybe only from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6, something like that. And the rest are Saturdays and Sundays and holidays. They're free. No officers around. And so they get away. So they practice their wrong things.
They practice their wrong one.
And they continue doing this. And do you find this, officers, especially the police, here in Orinjuak and some of the villages? Do you have problems of traffic in the villages with cycles and so on?
We have a lot,
You have?
especially in the village of Guinea Grass.
The bigger
Village of
villages.
Guinea Grass, yes.
The
We
bigger
have
villages.
been patrolling that area frequently. San Felipe,
Gasparich?
and the EPR area. We have met a lot of offenders.
And are they approached by the officers?
We have approached them. We have issued the violation ticket. Most of them motorcycles. Some of them they try rush, or I don't know what. Then they try rush, or they doesn't want to. He wear the helmet, like I explained. The penalty for the helmet has been upgraded. Not 25, it is not 50.
Oh, double it now.
It is 50 now.
Okay. And that's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Villages or town.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's one. What about those young people, especially young men, young boys, driving without license those cycles on the streets and running their
Whenever we are doing those checkpoints, or maybe we are patrolling, roving the area, roving patrol, we meet them. We meet the drivers without a driver license. That is not a ticket now, it is an arrest.
Ooh.
Once we arrest,
Ooh.
we have to arrest for the insurance, because the insurance does not cover the driver.
Because his license has expired.
His license has been expired.
Okay.
And they have to face the court.
What do you suggest as traffic officers what do you suggest to educate, especially the young drivers? Because they don't have license, but they're riding around, especially in motorcycles. What can be done?
Like Ms. PC has said, one thing we encounter, especially in the villages, is that very young people, young male or female, doesn't have a driver license to drive, none at all. So the owner of that side motorcycle is the person in charge of the cycle, and he's liable to ensure whosoever move the cycle has a driver license to go on the road, no? So there is a charge for the owner also.
So he's liable to be charged
Allowed.
to allow somebody to drive it without having
a
license.
valid driver license.
Oh.
So the charge will go to the driver and to the owner for allow this person
Allowing
to
that.
drive his motor vehicle without a valid driver license.
Sometimes the fathers, the dads,
Sometimes
papas
there's the
allow
fathers,
their son or their daughter. Yeah,
some of them maybe the workers at the company.
Yeah, right.
Like how Mr. Hill said, we have been working with them hand in hand, and we have seen the progress within the town itself with them violations that we have been encountering every day. Not only one, there's the helmet, there's the light, the excess passenger, the speeding, the overtaking.
And passing the red light and so on.
And there's a penalty. But some of them, like how Mr. Hill said, then come or then reach to foreign office and they try to explain, but then pay them fine and then do it over.
One of the things to add to that, officer, is that one thing I'd say to them eventually, that if they make it a habitual practice to, let's say, not wear a helmet every day, you go, you pay your ticket, you come out. We have what we call certain rules of the road that a ticket cannot save you eventually. If you're driving and you're not following the rules of the road and you go into a collision, let's say, a minimal collision, small fender bender, but you're not wearing a helmet, and you fall on that ground and your head hits the ground, at a 15 to 20 miles per hour, that can be fatal. And with you won't even be able to go and pay a ticket for that. So certain things, certain people, like how what people used to say, you learn the hard way. Some people don't learn by a ticket. And what I would like sometimes is, especially for the drivers that have been caught in an accident whereby there is a fatal. I have a family member that was involved in one whereby he was behind the wheels, and sadly, this guy just ran in front of him, and he knocked on the guy, and the guy died. The guy died on the highway, and it was something very traumatic for him. It's something we had to help him get through. And if I mean that happened to him, imagine someone that lost someone that was a passenger, and these sort of stuff. We are out there working hand in hand with the police department. I always say we have the guys on the highways doing their thing. Up in the highway from Belize to Belmopan, we have the highway patrol. These guys are out there with their speedometer. These guys are issuing tickets. Also municipal, as a small municipal, we are here within town doing our stuff. Whenever we meet any arrestable offense, or any drunken driving, we related to these guys. These guys have been working with us. I know Mr. Marin for the past
That's what I want to
10
ask.
years. No, we
Can
work hand in
resort to
hand.
them for
Yep,
arresting?
yes, well, presently we have two special constables which are sworn to arrest myself and Mr. Axer Chan, no?
Okay.
With the department, we went to Belmopan and we did a 2 weeks
Yes,
with
yes,
them,
yes,
and
yes.
that was good for us. It was, they fed us with good knowledge, and we came back and we shared this knowledge with the rest of our traffic wardens. But these guys are out there with us. We prepare operations. We go early in the morning, sometimes in the night, which has been very effective so far working together. And I think with all of us being on the same page, we would see a large decrease, as how the officer said, no, from where we begun. When we began, because motorcycles were very out of order. At least now we can say that they are being more safe.
It's
Although
improving.
it is from where we began. It is.
And the people and the drivers beginning to understand that wearing a helmet is for them to protect their head especially. Because when you fall from a vehicle, from a cycle, the first thing that touches the ground is your head.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it goes down and down, that's it. If you have a helmet, which, not any helmet, but a good helmet, it will bounce on the ground and save you, right? But some wear only piece of helmet.
Yeah, we have what we call the BSI helmet, the carpenter helmet.
Yeah.
The regulation says driving a motorcycle without a helmet. A part of the regulation says without a proper motorcycle helmet. And a proper motorcycle helmet is that has a chin strap.
Yes, yes.
We have some people using any type of helmet. We have the bicycle helmet, which is made out of foam. In other countries, we have one brand that is DOT. It is approved by the Department of Transport to wear one helmet. So you don't go and buy any different brand of helmet. In other countries, they have one specific brand that only that is allowed to be used when driving a motorcycle.
Can we learn from there? Can we pick up that?
We should learn.
Can you people
We should.
in the traffic department, can you present this, that it becomes lawful, that it is written in the law that this is
Can
what
be
you have
amended.
to use? You can't choose because it looks pretty, but it cannot save your life.
Exactly.
Can that be done? I think that's where we can begin being strict with traffic
We have,
rules.
like I said, we have touched to our head traffic, and we have submit that request because by patrolling, and we have met these drivers and explained that is not the proper helmet that is wearing. It is the BSI
Carpenter helmet.
carpenter or
yeah,
for
yeah.
any construction. They always complain. So what we as traffic do? You know, okay, we all right. Since you the refuse, we have talked to you for the first time. We have give you a warning. You refuse. See your ticket. Go and pay your ticket.
Can especially the ladies, with due respect to young girls, driving the cycles, wearing helmets that look like a graduation thing on their head to the back, on style like that. All here is open. They only have it up here. That's not a helmet.
That is not a helmet.
And they can be stopped. I would imagine that you people can stop me and say, look, you have to change that and do it now. Otherwise, you can't drive. Or after so many offenses, maybe 3, 4, after 4 offenses of the same thing, sorry, your license will be confiscated or something like that for a time. We have to find the ways.
What we do, we, like for example, we meet them and then we arrest and charge them and then go right in front of the magistrate. The magistrate will do that decision
Mhm.
as to whenever we write our report, that when you go in front of the court, we submit that it's not the first offense, several offense,
Mhm.
and then the magistrate do the
Oh,
decision.
she decides on
Just
that.
like we meet up one motorcycle or one vehicle without a valid insurance. We carry the vehicle, we impound the vehicle until they get the insurance. The vehicle or the cycle has been released. But remember, it has to be somebody who have a valid driver license.
Mhm.
And with the cycle, with the letter. If not, the vehicle will not.
Okay. Officer, we're talking about cycles, one of the most common offenses. Do you find bicycle riders causing problems also?
The obstacle.
Contrary
Contrary
Like
to
what?
the traffic,
Or going in no entry and things like that?
that is not the way. We do not issue any ticket. It is an arrest.
A bicycle is a vehicle?
Well,
Traffic entails what is motor vehicles, pedestrians, bicycles, and any herded animals. So, as long as you use the road to get from one
Oh.
point to the next, you are considered to be a part of traffic.
Traffic. Okay.
So even herded,
So you're
herded
liable
animals,
to
you are
Oh.
liable to follow all the rules and regulations as per, right? Bicycles, one of the things that, well, we barely see any double riding mostly in
Mhm.
town, but we still see a couple. They can also be arrested and charged, both of them. The person carrying the other person, and also if let's say I am the one that's on the handle or on the crossbar, I can be also ticketed for allowing myself to be carried. So they both get a charge for that. So ironic, when I will share this with you guys as well. When I was 15 years old, I got arrested. We got detained and we were charged.
On a bicycle?
On a bicycle, we were double riding. That was in front of Shell. I lived at Champagne and we were riding, and we actually almost crashed the mobile. But yes, we were charged $105, $100 plus $5 court fee.
For free.
The guy that was taking me was also charged at those times. At that time, I thought that only he would be the only one to get charged. But I was educated and I was told, you know what, you will also get charged for allowing yourself to be carried on a motorcycle.
Okay.
I mean, on a bicycle.
Uh-huh.
So at those times, we were scared when we see the police officers or any mobile, we would jump off the bicycle or so. The police department was very strict when it comes to bicycle. When I was growing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So from time to time, I would see these guys, stopping and taking some bicycles. So
But on a bicycle, 2 people can ride, not true? The one's riding, and the one to the back on a
Courier.
yes, to the back. Is that allowable? You could take somebody on the carrier back there.
it's a car. It's a proper seater that's attached to the back that
Uh-huh.
also has a seat belt sort of stuff,
Uh-huh.
and it's for toddlers only, right? So it has an age range. I think it's from depending on the child size, from 9, right? That would consider to be someone that that you can sit at the back.
Okay.
Apart from
It cannot
that,
be another adult.
no, it cannot be another adult. It is
Uh-huh.
not.
Uh-huh.
It is not. You can't affix anything to that, so an adult can ride a bicycle. So that would be something that would be have to look into when it comes to the proper age. Because we have in school, especially in the school zones at 11:30, We have some parents that go and they accompany their child back home, and they would take the little toddlers. We wouldn't consider that to be double riding to that effect, that it's maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years. You sit on the crossbar probably. It's not the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. They have a carrier at the back, but then again, it's a toddler sometimes 3, 4 years. So that would be as far as bicycles. But what they normally do every day is that Baker Street, Main Street, contrary to traffic, coming all the way from Banquitas, and they would want to ride all the way up to Belize Bank, go again contrary to traffic on Baker Street, and those sort of stuff. And they were getting a habit of doing this also, was to use the ramp in front of the town hall and ride their bicycles all through the medium and all the way to the park. But that has stopped as well.
The controller stopped.
Yes. Like I always said, these guys would do this when I come out of work, and I would come to town. You would see them doing it, but I mean, we can only catch so much.
I know. Okay. Can we take a little 1 minute break here?
Sure.
Can we have a 1 minute break, please? Por favor, please. 1 minute.
Special guest in the audience tonight, legendary record executive, Mr. Clive Davis.
My voice is gone. What? You start the show tonight. No talking back. I'm your mother.
There's a boy I know. He's the one I dream of.
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
Wait, y'all, look at it. It's on, listen. How will I know if he really loves me?
My dream, sing what I want to sing, be how I want to be.
I say a prayer with every heartbeat.
Reach as big an audience as I can.
Common criticism of you, your music isn't black enough.
Look, I don't know how to sing black, and I don't know how to sing white either. I know how to sing.
I might have just heard the greatest voice of her generation.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's got to have a hook.
A hook?
Yeah.
I'll give it a hook.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something that they could see and touch.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist. We created an ecological disaster.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Don't move.
If you're lucky, no matter what life hands you, you can always count on your closest friends to be there. Oh, thank you. My purse was exhausted. We are all blissfully unaware when our lives are about to change.
Life is full of surprises.
I'm ready to lose my virginity.
Excuse me?
I got the list.
What list?
There's a whole brouhaha at school about this MILF list.
For real?
Our lunchtime fodder is not usually this lowbrow, I swear.
Really? Who have you been eating with?
It's a big step up for Che and me.
I've been having exit out of grief sex. It's just sex.
Through all the chance that you've been out there, men have feelings too.
Life's too short not to try something new. And just like that, I realized some things are better left in the past. But maybe not everything.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
It's the return of the long-awaited Fiesta Rama, July 1st and 2nd at the People's Stadium. Come and enjoy 2 days of excitement and entertainment. On Saturday, come out for the all-day business expo starting at 9 a.m., followed by the Grand Pro FC Fight Night, with entertainment by Yachty Kid, Tiny Melodies and Daddy Flow, El Kangri, DJ Shans and DJ Kali. Then to close off Saturday night, some of soca's hottest artists live in concert. Artists like Freezy with hits like DJ Ching.
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
And straight out of Antigua, Mr. Vagabond himself, Ricardo Drew. Then on Sunday, the excitement continues with the Mud Show, the Motorcycle Show, and the Dog Show, with entertainment by DJ Shans and DJ Keon. Then dance the night away with Gil Harry 7 and Super G. Hosted both days by comedian David Murray. Sponsored by the Orange Walk Town Council, the Belize Tourism Board, LED Belize, Quayos Distillery Limited, and Honorable Kevin Bernard. Fiestarama 2023. See you there.
Special guest in the audience tonight, legendary record executive, Mr. Clive Davis.
My voice is gone. What? You start the show tonight. No talking back. I'm your mother.
There's a boy I know, he's a
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston. Wake up! It's on. It's on. Listen.
How will I know if he really loves me?
My dream. Sing what I want to sing. Be how I want to be.
I say a prayer with every heartbeat.
Reach as big an audience as I can.
Common criticism of you, your music isn't black enough.
Look, I don't know how to sing black, and I don't know how to sing white either. I know how to sing.
I might have just heard the greatest voice of her generation.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's got to have a hook.
A hook?
Yeah.
I'll give it a hook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again. Bienvenidos otra vez y seguimos en esta segunda etapa del programa. Va a ser un poco corto porque el tiempo se está yendo. Hemos escuchado bastante de los oficiales de lo que está sucediendo en tráfico, especialmente con bicicletas y motocicletas. En esta sección voy a preguntarles y pedirles a los oficiales que nos expliquen algo que todos debemos de saber. Officers in Orange Walk, I am more concerned in Orange Walk and the villages. We have what we call residential areas. All right. What are residential areas and how does traffic work there? Can you explain that to the people, residential area?
Residential areas would be any neighborly area whereby we have community members, we have people going to different shops. For example, we have downtown with what we would call a business area.
Right. Yes,
Right?
yes,
Downtown,
yes,
Baker
yes,
Street, Main Street, business area. So parking is done in different ways than as in a residential area. Take, for example, the Sunday Field area, Teacher Mande. People obstructing neighbors or residentials or residents of different areas. For example, Sunday Field, we have the area of San Lorenzo housing site. We have the area of Nature Park. One of the slight complaints that we would get would be people that park in front of other people's driveways or gates. We would have that problem. So my advice to these residents would be like, let's not be selfish. Let's think about our neighbors. If I know by parking in such a way I would affect my neighbor for him or her to come out, I would affect visibility. I would obstruct. I would narrow in this person's path. Let's be more considerate, right? Más conscientes, más considerables. En vez de solo parquear, estacionar un vehículo y sin darnos cuenta en qué manera yo afecto a esta persona? ¿Será que esta persona va a poder salir bien de su cerco? ¿Será que yo parqueando de esta manera le va a obstruir la vista? ¿Será que esta persona va a poder ver un incoming vehicle? And things like that, you know. We would get calls after, you know what, tenemos, por ejemplo, the areas, for example, by the hospital, not hospital, by Northern Medical Plaza, and we have residents along that side, you know, and we receive many complaints of people parking by their gates and they don't have access to come out or go in their house. And we need to ask ourselves, you know, what if this person has an emergency and needs to rush someone to the hospital? I already in my vehicle, I start my vehicle, but I can't come out. Why? Because there's a vehicle parked on my driveway. So that would be one of the common problems that we would meet in residential areas. People also complain about, again, the motorcycles, areas whereby trucks travel, the riverside areas, the San Lorenzo housing site areas, the Charles Farm areas. We would have people complaining about excessive noise. These air brakes that the trucks use in town, they're not allowed to use it in town. These brakes should be used when they're traveling maybe down south on the hills to assist them to stop, not within town. In school zones, we have, for example, zones that are on residential areas, for example, the Presbyterian area. It's a school zone, but then again, we have residents that live around there. So people would want to go and park different sort of ways, and you know, it can affect the residents. So that would be one of our biggest complaint, you know, people park in front of someone's gate. And something can be avoided. It's something
in
easy.
residential areas, as you say, drivers of any vehicle, they need to be more careful to drive in those areas because of the children are run out of
Yeah,
and so on.
I always say that there's children. I have been to different places and I heard this from someone and it is, I have seen it to be true. Where you see a ball on the street, there's a child behind that ball.
Yes.
And one thing that I recently learned in the villages, donde ves una gallina cruzando la calle, hay un chamaquito corriendo tras esa gallina. I saw that when I went to Gardenia village, and I saw some chicken running, and a child just came out there, you know. And in the villages, you know, we have pigs, we have dogs, so we need to be careful. In town, we have a ball. Where you see a ball, there's a child, you know. So residential areas, some of these children play on the street. For example, we have the back areas whereby, I mean, where no vehicle travels, so you have these children playing on the streets. Maybe 1 or 2 vehicles would pass every 2 or 3 hours. You know, so when we approach these residential areas, we need to be extra cautious, extra careful, because we may never know what we may encounter, what can pop up in front of us. Especially if we are driving and we are distracted, probably on the radio, probably on our phone, probably having a conversation with a passenger, you know. So we need to be more alert when it comes to approaching these areas.
Vehicles passing on residential areas, the drivers have to be more conscious of driving slower than in regular streets. Otherwise, no?
Yes, definitely speed
I see
limits.
for myself, and I get complaints from people. What can be done to drivers who are flying past on those streets, and they are strictly residential areas?
That patrolling and enforcing. We get certain reports, for example, on that Palmar Bonji Road. It is an area that people do physical exercise in the evenings. We have people at work. They come at 5, they change up and they put on their gears and they go and they do some jogging. We have received calls about people speeding in that area on Liberty Avenue as well. So what we would do, we would deploy officers to do regular patrols. Would stay at 10 minutes to monitor. If they see anything unusual, anything when it comes to speeding, they would stop. We would give warnings, and by simply showing presence, these guys do not operate this sort of ways, no? We would ask them, like, maybe the problem is from 6 until 7 when they go and they do their jogging. So we would deploy officers just to monitor and see more or less what is it.
That activity with the officers, is it improving the situation of more safety for the...
Yes, it does. It does, Teacher Mande, but at the same time, when you left here, when forgot our next place, remember what happened, like, the town, like these guys know how we move sometimes. So they know where more or less to move. These guys know what time we come out of work and what time we come in and stuff like that. Like, you know, these guys study us. We have other things to do, so these guys, the regular offenders would study us. Traffic come out, but they know at certain times whereby they do not see us. So they know it is safe for them to do their mischief when it comes to driving recklessly and so.
Those are the situations where the traffic officers, policemen and so on, need to be very strict to enforce.
I think apart from that, teacher man, it takes a community. I think it takes a community. I'll say right now with driving, we need to focus and attack the younger generation. For us to, from now to 5 years, 6 years, we would have a better driving community. We need to attack them where we can now, and not only as us municipality or the police department with Mr. Marin and the guys or Mr. Mendoza with these guys in national transports on the highway patrols, but as a community for us to get involved. And involved in which way? All right, I have a nephew, I have a brother, I have a neighbor that I know has a bad driving habit. I am an older driver. I can advise this guy, you know what? Or probably share an experience with him, you know what? By doing that, I learned this, or this is what happened to me. So I would say the community, it takes a community to raise a child. And if the community starts by, you know, especially the senior drivers, these guys that are taught the right way, these guys that have took defensive driving course, share your knowledge to your neighbor, to your nephew, your niece, you know, and they will learn something from what you tell them. So it takes a community, teacher man,
So
apart
the
from
community
us.
has a
Very important role.
share, a part
Yes,
to play
yes.
to help, especially the young drivers coming up.
It's for example, like as a child, you know what, I have a cousin that, you know what, Edwin, please háblame con ese chamaco porque él a mí no me hace caso. Many of us have heard that already. You know what, talk to him because he no pay me mind. So I know, like how they say, you know what, to the world we might just be someone, but to someone we might be the world. So maybe the way we, you know, we deliver that message, or maybe by just giving them an advice, you know what, I see you driving this way, probably you should slow it down because this can happen to you. Or by doing this, probably you can hurt someone, or you let them see where is it that they are going wrong, and you guide them as to where is it that they need to go. So like how I said, you know, it would take the community. All of us play an important role.
We need more participation, active participation, verbal participation, physical participation of the community. Of
Definitely,
the members,
definitely, teacher man.
the older heads to advise these people.
Definitely think so.
Right. Okay then, officers. You have any difficult area in traffic? At the beginning, we mentioned what you pick up the motorcycles. Any difficult area that you have in traffic with pedestrians and so on? Do pedestrians cause problems in traffic?
Yes. Most of them we frequently see every day as the day start, like how Mr. Hill say, people know that what time the traffic works and what time they come off, and then they monitor. They monitor within the police or the traffic warden. And that is the problem that we have been encountering daily, at a daily basis, not only in the morning and the night. So that is what I have, since I have been post here in Orange Walk, I've been seeing that with these offenders at the daily basis, that we have been seeing those kind of offenders. Some of them offenders is that, like how you asked about the obstructing the way how people are coming out from then residents, or maybe it is a public place or one restaurant, or you encounter, like how you say, and maybe you might be in this restaurant and something happened to you, or maybe you are asthmatic and you need to rush in out, and then just block you. That is a problem that not only the warden have, as the police then call. What are the first thing then call the 911? The police, so the police have to enforce the law.
Okay.
I don't know what is Mr. Marine have.
Apart from those offenses with the pedestrian, there are some drivers that fail to obey the traffic lights. That's another issue with them. Not all of them, some of them, no. And they take advantage where they don't see no police or no transport officer, especially, no.
On pedestrian crossing.
On pedestrian crossing.
Or the zebra crossing.
Yes, especially on the morning time when it's busy. It's very, they take risks.
So driver need to stop there until the
They
pedestrian.
should stop and allow pedestrians to
Yes,
cross.
yes, pedestrian.
So,
Like how they say whenever you recommode mga camera, what do we usually say in the last, before you commode, you watch both sides, you count 1 to 10. You don't see nobody, you commode. We have this illegal overtaking. You overtaking the wrong side. That is whenever they want, like I say, you meet up one stoplight and the line they not red. Some of them just drive, they don't see no warden, no police.
Yeah, you go.
Suppose this vehicle they come and the light is in green. You come in, bam, we have one RTA. And it is a fatal.
Yes.
What happened? He cast the next driver for making. Even though no matter what, they will still give you the driving without you carrying attention.
I have one thing here that I would like to share, that this is something that is being done every day by probably half of the town, especially when dropping kids to school, to the different school. I have personally seen it, and I will share with you all. It's on the handout that you get for you to study when you sit a written test. It's a number 38, right? And I will read it out. It says you should not drive and have babies on your lap, because if an accident should arise, you would have to take immediate action, right? The baby may grab your arm and cause an accident as well. So we see many times at the schools, parents go and drop off their children, but what? Little baby right on the lap.
The baby on the lap.
Right on the lap. Now this baby don't have no seat belt. This baby don't have a baby. He hand fast. He hand could touch anything at any time. At any time, if you get probably the green light, and because it has happened already, I've put people over, and when they tell me like, why is it? You know, some people get the green light and they're going, especially on an automatic motor vehicle. The child moves the shifter, it stays on neutral.
Yes.
Tu estás machucando gas, no va porque está neutral.
Right,
A child hand is fast. Then what? Then you stop, and the green light means go. So the vehicle behind you, you know, it can crash you. So it is a ticketable offense. Passengers on a motor vehicle not properly seated. Regulation 68, subsection 5 states, a passenger on a motor vehicle not properly seated. Now, a child, a toddler, needs to have a proper car seater at the back, right? Not at the front, at the back. So there's a rule and regulation for that as well. Yet we see every day, every single day, we see someone doing this in a school zone. So if we were to ticket each and every offense, each Monday, people would have many things to complain about, but they would not look at it on the bright side, on the safe side, because we just think about maybe, oh, how can it hurt it's hurting our pocket, right? But it's rather for us to either do that Or sometimes, we learn the hard way. We catch into accident and, hey, if I had the child at the back on this proper seater, he wouldn't be flung out through that windshield. So it is something to look at. And
Mr. Hill, those are the rules and regulations of traffic that are applicable to drivers and pedestrians.
Yes.
Can the traffic department of both police and the municipal people prepare any handout for people to learn, to read and learn about these things? Not everybody's hearing these things.
No, I know. Probably we can organize that as well. But in the past,
the police
we have done it. We have done it in the past. Them give handouts on the ramps at Landis and Adventist and also Town Council ramp. In the past, we have done it when we were launching our motorcycle campaign, whereby the law first stated driving a motorcycle without a helmet. So in that case, the passenger doesn't have a helmet, I cannot ticket him. But that changed to riding a motorcycle. So as long as you're riding a motorcycle, you are to wear a helmet. So when that happened, we actually went out and issued flyers for people to be sensitized. But yes, it's something we can definitely work on. We have done it in the past when it comes to the seatbelt, the motorcycles, and anything that pops up new and we want to reinforce. We go on, we do that to sensitize it down. No?
Because the police, I know the police formation department, they prepare hand pamphlets, especially during Christmas time, preparation for Christmas celebration.
Yes, Christmas,
and
Easter.
other celebration during the year, where people become aware of some of these things, what they can do, what they shouldn't do, what they should avoid, and things like that when they're going out, but how to leave your house and things like that, which is very good. Now the traffic department needs to do more like what you have done before. It needs to be done more. Must more often.
More sensitizing, more advisories.
Yeah. Because we're getting more and more people, So those who received it so many years ago, the ones today, they need also, is to keep them informed. At least 2 pamphlets. So that you can't tell them, well, you never know. We give you the opportunity, here it is.
Yes, definitely. Well, we have our social media page. Whenever something pops out in the council, we are, especially in the traffic department, we have a person in charge to share.
Okay.
That's on the social media, on Facebook and on that end, But yes, that is. So we have people who don't have Facebook, people don't have WhatsApp.
Right.
Some people are just manual drivers, farmers who just come on the road from the villages, and these are the guys we can, hey, you know what? Here's a pamphlet, you can take your time and you can read this when you get home. We normally do that. We used to do it when it comes to the drinking and driving, the alcohol campaign.
Right,
When we got the alcohol blower, we launched a campaign. But definitely something to look into, Teacher Mande.
I want to ask you, because we're coming to the end of our show, I want to ask you, what can you give us one advice, each of you, to the drivers of motorcycles especially, and pedestrians? One strong advice for them to have more security, more safety as they do their driving or walking.
Well, my advice, I would give to the motorcyclists out there, based on what I have seen and what I have what has been the outcome of reckless driving, what has been the outcome of excessive passengers, running the light and all these stuff. The first thing that comes to my mind is a disability. Would we like it for, we, because of running a red light, because of not wearing a helmet, because of having a toddler in the gas tank seated, and I had to mash my brakes, and that toddler, I didn't have enough time to hold on to that toddler. Disability is the first thing that comes to my mind. What if I end up with a broken foot with steel on it? Or what if I lose a foot? How would that disable me? I would be disabled. How can I work? How can I provide for my family? Without a foot, without a hand, with a broken or 2 broken ribs, or a fractured skull. Maybe I end up with seizure or stuff like that, So my advice would be like, let's think before we act. Let's think before we commit any traffic offense. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to save $5 gas so I can take 2 of my nephews or my niece to school? when I can just take one safely and then go back for the other one.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so my advice to the motorcyclists would be to think how can it affect us if it should happen to us. We always see on the TV, why, you know, that happened to this guy, you hear this happened to that one there, but you know, happen to wait. Let's not wait for it to happen to us.
Okay.
Let's be proactive and be safe. That's
Thank
all
you
I
very
would be
much,
for mine.
Mr. Hill. Corporal, any final advice to drivers and pedestrians?
Well, my advice to all drivers, not only motorcycles, but
all
drivers is vehicles
Right.
in a whole, to be more adhere to the public in front of them in the streets, to be more drive more safely, and take their time in, especially in the busy areas within town. Speeding, like I said, is a concern. So for them to like just get in accident just for and make them get injured or something like that. So otherwise, my advice is to be more careful. On driving on the road, more responsible on the road. Respect the traffic lights and other offenses which they could be ticketed for. No?
Okay then. Okay. Thank you for that, Corporal. Officer, Mr. Ya, what?
My advice is like how Mr. Hill said. You think about disability, but for all drivers, not even in a cycle, but in a motor vehicle, some of them they drive within town. You have one speed limit, especially in the pedestrian. Some of them get one call. Be careful. Be careful. Left what you could avoid for afterwards. You get one call or one message. Just be careful. Be safe and make the public be safe. Because you the drive, in a high speed or reckless, you could hurt somebody. Not only you could hurt somebody, maybe you might cause one serious accident. Just be conscious as to what is the rules of the road.
Okay.
Just for me, just be carefully, drive carefully, drive safe, and let's keep our town safe.
Thank you, Mr. Ya. We know we are already entering the summer holidays. Schools, high schools, junior colleges closing. We have a lot of young people on the streets, and this is where drivers need to be more careful as to what you people are saying, all right, to avoid accidents, all right. So I want to thank each of you for coming, and I wish we could continue at other times in some other form, maybe not a show, but some other form, to continue educating the public, drivers of vehicles, motorcycles, whatever, and pedestrians also, for safety. Let's not wait for an accident to happen, then we start to do safety measurements, but now that we can, all right? So I want to thank you, Mr. Hill. Thank you for coming again. And Corporal Marine, Officer Mr. Ya, thank you for coming. Thank you very, very much. And I want to invite everybody for our next talk show, which is scheduled for July 25th. Next month is already coming, true? This Saturday is the 1st.
Yes, and I want to see
we're having this big thing in Orange Walk,
Yes, a lot of work on us on our end.
And you people have a lot of work, you and the police.
Yeah.
With a lot of people at the
a lot of wonderful
stadium
activities, a lot of excited activities at this year. Look
Saturday
forward
and
for
Sunday.
that.
One thing, Mr. For bring up to the public, you have any other thing, feel free to visit the Orange Walk Police Station. Not only the traffic, there is the first respondent at the station. They could give you advice as to what, or any report that you feel free to visit the Orange Walk Station, and you can make your complaint.
Not to be afraid of the police.
Not
Some people are afraid to go there, you know. So
They are not.
it's coming from you.
We
police
as
officers.
police, we only nobody. We are peacemaker. Once we reach a station, they will treat you, sir. Can I?
Okay.
I have one report. Can you please assist me? I said, sir, how can I help you? The police will free
That will help a lot.
to
yes, yes.
visit the Orange Rock and station. Not only the traffic, we have the first responder who is the relief. We have the domestic. We have the community police.
Okay.
Feel free, visit the station and make a complaint. If you doesn't make the complaint, we cannot respond. But once more, make we drive safe and make we keep our town safe, especially this long weekend that we will be having in our town.
And feel free, let the people feel free to communicate or to approach
Make
the
them
police
voice their
or
opinion.
whatever. Yes. Okay. So once again, thank you, gracias, muchísimas gracias, and to everybody who saw us tonight. Please join us on July 25th for another talk show on We Got Ya Back. Buenas noches. Thank you very much. And before I go, we will say thanks. I want to say thanks to Miss Kami for allowing us this show. And no, once a month, Mr. A. Yes, so thank you very much, Miss Kami. And to all of you, buenas noches, gracias, y nos vemos pronto. Good night.